We force ourselves too much, get too much, and we forget just being. Hi, I'm Isabel Rollo, and welcome to your show, Let It Shine. Hello and welcome to Let It Shine. Today with us is Roger Bezanis. Welcome to the show,
Thank
Roger.
you.
And tell me, who is Roger Bezanis?
Well, I'm a formulator, researcher, developer of herbal formulas. I also have studied the function of the body. What I'm interested in is what makes people healthier, what makes them sicker. And so for the last several years, I've been focusing on being able to, or learning how to diagnose or understand what the body's doing. I studied homeopathy, naturopathy, chiropractic, osteopathic medicine, Unani medicine, which is the medicine studied in the Middle East. And unless you've been there, it's like, you're wondering what? Chinese medicine, in other words, TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. So that's what I've done to understand the essence of what the body's doing. And along the way, I stumbled onto face reading. And that's what caused me to get into the field and become the expert I am in that area of face reading.
I see that you wrote a book about face reading.
Yes, I did.
And you had a DVD too.
Yeah, there's a DVD that is on, we shot last year on face reading and iridology. So the leading iridologist in the world, Dr. David Pesek, he and I did an hour-and-a-half presentation where we taught face reading and then at the same time followed up with iridology, which is the study of the eye. And we compared back and forth so the practitioners could understand what the comparisons were as far as understanding what the body's doing, because the same things that show up in the face show up in the eye. The difference is the face tends to show it a little quicker, although the eye is very accurate. And these are the two oldest modalities for understanding what the body's doing internally based on look. Because before we had surgery, before we had scalpels and all sorts of exploratory surgery, stethoscopes, MRIs, and so forth, we had to look. We had to understand what the body was doing based on the smell of it, the look of it, the sound of it. So it was very important to understand what the body was doing based on those elements, because you didn't have any others.
Roger, what made you write the book about face reading?
Well, the funny thing is I didn't intend to write it. It was completely accidental. I had attended a medical, what am I saying, medical, I'm making things up now. I attended a skincare convention in San Jose. And this was back in 1991. And there was a homeopathic medicine doctor there who had a face reading chart. And it was very colorful, really interesting, colorful chart. Problem was, it was confusing. I couldn't figure out what it meant. So what I did is I took it home, looked at it, and then researched other charts around the world and found out that every original culture on the planet had a chart, had its very own chart. The problem was, it was confusing because they argued.
So tell me, now that you say about that one was confusing, what is face reading and what is not face reading?
What is face reading and what is not face reading? Well, looking at the face and saying that an individual has acne and therefore they need to take a drug. Now, that's not face reading. But if someone looks at the face and understands that certain parts of the face represent the stomach, the lungs. For example, right here, this is the small intestine, right? So the stomach is here, the kidneys are here, the right kidney, the left kidney. So if we know where we're looking, we can then compute what the problems are. We match that up with the symptoms that someone might have. For example, left shoulder pain. If someone gets stiff, sore, and tight in their left shoulder, kidney symptoms. Almost always, well, not almost always, it is kidney symptoms. Now, it can be an indication that there's other issues. For example, the colon is irritated and pushing back against the kidneys, which can cause a kidney symptom, but it still comes down to kidney symptoms. So when we learn the symptoms, the body will give, and then the look of the body, well, then it's an absolute answer as to what the body's doing. So we have a predisposition towards a problem, in other words, what we're born with, and then we have a current problem, or we have symptoms of a problem that have passed. So face reading gives us the information to either treat or not treat an issue. So
when you say about treat or not treat it, how soon appear everything in your face? And when they appear in your face, is too late to take action?
No. When it appears on your face, the time is right to do something. In other words, if you wake up in the morning and you notice that your eyes are dark, well, if your eyes are dark underneath, that's your adrenal glands. They're irritated. That can happen from caffeine. That can happen from salt. That can happen from sugar, be caused from sugar. So the number one thing to do in the morning is drink fluid and fresh juices. Now, some people can't do that. Doctor's orders say don't do that. So if that's the case, don't do that. Follow your doctor's orders. But your face changes throughout the day. In other words, you may have noticed that you have a blemish early in the day. By afternoon, it's gone. You think you're getting older. By afternoon, you look better. So you unintentionally, or possibly intentionally, if you knew what you were doing, change something in your diet or certainly change the ecology of your body, and your face reflected it. That's why when you go on the road and you wake up in the morning and look at yourself and you see the Pillsbury Doughboy or Doughgirl staring back at you because you're all swollen, it's because you're on the road. And the hotel room is somewhat toxic, but you're out of your home environment and your kidneys don't like to travel.